What's up, everybody? What's up? How y'all doing? Girl, I feel like it's been a month of Sundays since I seen y'all. How y'all been? What's up, good girl? Child, life has been pretty hectic. Okay. It's been pretty hectic over here as I have been getting switched from position to position at work. And I just been, trying to get acclimated to that. But y'all listen. So I was on Chat GPT, and I was like, what if I did not have to take notes on my own anymore? Y'all don't know. Being a YouTuber can be pretty strenuous because like when you come home from work and you're tired mentally, the people that wore you down, dragged you through the coals, right? The last thing you want to do is turn on your TV and have to take notes. I hate it. I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it, y'all. I hate it. But then I was like, okay, let me see if ChatGPT can give me the summary with detailed notes with different instructions that I gave. And y'all, this AI gave me the whole rundown of the episode. So I was like, okay, cool. So now I have all of the notes for the episode. Now all I got to do is watch it, right? So I watched it and then I compared the notes and I was like, this was really spot on. And it's really concise too. So like I was really happy about that. You know what I'm saying? I was really happy to get that, to get that out and get that done. And I was like, well, if I can do this with almost every show that I cover, then this gonna be a whole lot more easier for me. All I gotta do is watch the episodes, get the notes generated, cross-reference, and then do the damn review. Now, some of y'all gonna say that that's lazy. But I don't care. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? What's up, Darnett? What's up, Ella? What's up, Demi? Whew, y'all. So we're gonna wait until we're at the 5-minute mark. And then we're gonna get into everything. I'm gonna try to either record a review tonight for Bell Collective, or I'm gonna have to just probably go live tomorrow for Bell Collective after I watch the episode, and then we're gonna get that out too. And then we're also gonna be adding Salt Lake City in the mix. I know I am 3 episodes late. I know, y'all. But please forgive me. Can I also tell y'all something too? Y'all look, the people real strict on YouTube, baby. If you don't upload at least 2 to 3 times a week, baby, the subscribers go unsubscribe to you. They don't give a damn what you're going through, girl. They don't give a damn what life got going on for you, baby. They say if you're not uploading the video, baby, it's time to go. And I be wondering, if people have not uploaded the video in like, let's say 8-9 days, right? Do you personally go to their YouTube channel and then unsubscribe, or do you just get accidentally unsubscribed and whatnot? I be wondering. I was like, do y'all come to my channel and then look for me to unsubscribe? I was like wondering that, child. But y'all, we about to get it started. So for the 17 of y'all that's in here, ooh, child, hold on. Y'all, I'm getting gray hairs in my beard. And I don't know how to take it. I don't know how to take it, y'all. I wasn't prepared to go gray this early in life. I just turned 30. Y'all, 30 hit you hard. 30 hits your ass hard. Sometimes I wake up and my knees crack before I even move. I don't know what that's about. Now I work out, I drink a lot of water. I try to make sure that my skin and my health is in a good balance, but you can't fight Father Time, right? So let me know if y'all ready for me to start. I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna stop diverting off the topic. And let me pull it up. All right. I assume nobody want to put a one in the chat. I can't expect everybody to do what we normally do. I know it's not as many people in here, but let's get started. All right. So first and foremost, I want to say this. Now, I personally have not watched Real Housewives of Potomac last season like that. I told y'all when Candace left, baby, I left. But you want to know what? I was like, what the hell? It's been a minute. Candace allegedly, is contemplating getting back on the show. So how mad can I be against the colorism? And Wendy's still there, right? So I have not watched it. So seeing this group of ladies, I was like, let me just give a fresh slate, clean slate to everybody, and see what it is. And to be honest, y'all, I was thoroughly pleased. I don't think that this was a bad episode at all. And there's something about Stacey that I really do like. Now, a lot of people are comparing Stacey to Mia, but I think that is not a fair comparison, right? Now, do Stacey be lying? Absolutely. Do Stacey be lying? Absolutely. But it's something real devious, mean, and dark-hearted about Mia that I don't get with Stacey. And to me, if somebody is lying about their personal life like that, things that aren't dangerous to people, I don't really see the big problem. And if I compare it to all of the damn lies that we've heard on this show before, I don't think that, Stacey doing anything more than what they've done in the past. Now, we're going to definitely get into this, but let's continue, child. So the episode picks up, months after, everything that had happened with the reunion last season. We have Karen's sentencing, right? So we are at Giselle's house, right? And we are seeing a flashback of the girls, I guess, at Giselle's house. And we also see Karen getting ready to enter into the jailhouse. Now, I don't know. I don't feel no sympathy for Karen at all. And that was kind of weird to me this whole episode. I felt like everybody was like, poor Karen. I was like, Karen was driving drunk behind a damn car, hit a median, a tree. Why are we saying poor Karen? Why are we acting like this is some type of traumatic event that she's gonna have to go through? If her drunk ass was was strong enough to get behind the wheel of a car, knowing that she could put people's lives at risk, also in tandem being Thomas Jefferson's concubine, I think that she can handle 6 months or a year jail time. Me personally. I don't know why people get sympathy for going to jail, after a DUI. Now, anytime I drink something, I don't want to touch a wheel. Number one, I barely like to drive on my own sober, let alone when I'm drunk. For me to get behind the wheel, put my key in the ignition, and go and get on the road. That's insane to me. But let's continue, y'all. So the episode opens up with the footage of Karen Huger walking out of the Montgomery County Detention Center after serving her 6 months. So they basically put what's going to be happening at the end of the season at the beginning, I guess, as like a precursor or something like that. And then we flash back to the day of her sentencing and the cast reactions at Giselle's house. So we see Giselle and Ashley basically talking about it. Ashley comes to the house and they start discussing, how sad this is for Karen. How, hurt they are that Karen has to go through this. Giselle is in a confessional telling us that, she hates that Karen has to go to jail. But what she doesn't want is Karen to get another DUI. Ashley is talking like she actually is feeling some type of sympathy for Karen, but Ashley looks like she's in the middle of holding back a laugh, right? And then we proceed to ask weird questions about the jail that Karen is going to, or the prison that Karen is going to. So, they ask like, is it like is it going to be like murderers there? Is it gonna like be, robbers there? Is it, is she's gonna be in Gen Pop? And then Ashley says, hopefully they put her in the AARP, section of the jail. And then Giselle goes on to say, hopefully, they put her in the elderly section of the jail. And I was like, Giselle, that was funny, first and foremost. I definitely chuckled about that. But if Karen needs to be in that jail, in the elderly section, I'm going to need you to put your wig. Put that wig that you have on in the cell right next to her in the elderly section. These wigs, Giselle. See, it's something about you hoes that be wearing wigs with no closure. It's something about y'all that I just don't trust. I just don't understand. If the hair has to come from somewhere. You see, it just can't be head. It has to be hair, look like it's coming from the root into the wig and then out to the world to see. So I'm just saying, Giselle, so if we're gonna say that Karen needs to be in the AARP section of the jailhouse of the prison, then I'm gonna need you to divert that wig to the cell next to Karen. Because that wig is a felony. Now, I'm not gonna lie. She do look better than she has in previous seasons. I'll give Giselle that. Maybe sucking all the youth and fame as being the center peach over the last season has given her some type of restoration. I was like, did she get something done to her neck too? I was like, last time I saw Giselle, I swore that it looked like she had 3 titties. Like the 2 on the chest and then the one from the neck sagging down to the cleavage. I was like, everybody looks so refreshed. Is this what happens when Karen is getting DUIs and getting locked up in jail? Maybe she needs to get locked up more often. Okay, so so the rest of the girls come over to the house. So we have Wendy comes over, Stacy comes over, and we have Kiana there. Now, Kay, now I like you, sis. I like you a lot. And I'm not going to just immediately hop on the bandwagon to go at you like this. But I just want to say, not everybody's a reader. Not everybody can read like that. And it's okay to be, I feel like if you just more so of a chill person, right? And you not like the shady type of person, you not messy like that. I feel that you as a calm, level-headed individual, your job in the group is to interject when you see something happening that's wrong. And then whatever happens from that, what snowballs from that, that's your storyline. But to try to create issues with people, just try to figure out how you can weasel some type of problem or conflict in, doesn't make sense to me. Especially with who you are deciding to do it with. I don't like when people dogpile on one person, right? I don't like seeing everybody gang up on one person, but I'm not going to jump ahead. Let's pace ourselves, okay? So we are at, Giselle's house, and, the girls are all sitting around the table. They're discussing, Karen, they talking about how sad it is that Karen is gone. How they crying for Raven. Oh my God. Stacy. Stacy be like, oh my God. I just feel so bad for Raven. Like nothing that Stacy says sounds genuine. But I am oddly entertained, if that makes any sense, right? So, they start talking about, the whole lockup and the footage that happened with Karen. And then, Ashley says, you mean Thomas Jefferson's concubine? Wendy says, excuse me, Ashley, what was that? Stacy butts in and says, it's certain nicknames that we will not use in this group. So Ashley pivots because this is an evil, demonic, big foreheaded individual. That forehead is full of all type of dark, evil, treacherous thoughts. So she says, okay, well, how about TJ? Speaking of TJ, how are y'all doing? And Stacy goes in to talk about, well, me and TJ are fine. We actually, just got off the phone. We are doing great. And they said, well, that's crazy because we heard that he was suing you. It was a actress that was saying that he has allegedly filed a lawsuit against you. And we really want to, well, they didn't bring that up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't bring up the lawsuits, but they did bring up all of the stuff that had happened during the season. And at the reunion, basically talking about the suing, if that makes any sense. So she was going on to say, like, I will not pay anybody any money to basically come onto the show, especially as me being married, as me being a mother. Why would I do something like that? Like, why would I? Like, no. For a show? For a paycheck? I don't need that. It's not even worth any of that. I wouldn't put my family at risk for a show. And then Kiana hops in and says, well, actually, we heard that you was trying to get on the show for a while. I was like, ooh. I was like, Kiana, you really didn't have to add that in. Like, it really didn't need to be all of that. You could have just sat and, been quiet and just allow what to happen. But see, when you do this, when you try to jump on people, you get clocked. And then Stacy responds to Karen and she says, no, actually, when I got on the show, it just was the perfect time and it was presented to me. I know that could be a little bit difficult, in your situation. I was like, Stacy, now, Stacy, who told you to start reading people like this? Baby, and you know to read good. You know to read good when Wendy makes a face. When Wendy do this, you know to read hits. That girl said, I know, me getting asked to be on the show could be a little bit, of a difficult topic for you. She said sensitive, actually. I was like, you know what? Get her. Do not let these women jump on you, Stacy. And I love that. Just because you may be prim and proper, or you may be somebody that likes to, be real, posh, does not mean you cannot back these hoes up off of you. And so after she says that, Karen is going to say, well, I'm just saying, you just been lying this whole time. You've been lying with them beady ass eyes. I was like, what? Like, where'd that come from? And literally after I said, where did that come from? Stacy said, what is this? What is this? Like, what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what? You're getting so aggressive. And she was like, so I'm aggressive now. I'm aggressive now. Like, y'all know Kay starts talking really fast. I'm aggressive now. Just because I'm starting to ask you a question about all your lies. I'm aggressive now. I'm aggressive now. I was like, Karen, calm down. Karen, breathe. You doing too much. You doing a lot. And it's not giving half as much as you think that it is. Like you really need to chill. Because at the end of the day, Stacey and you don't even have beef. So what is this? And when you was in like, am I tripping? Or at the reunion that Stacey was at, was like, I don't know, like was Kiana a friend of the show? Or was she a housewife at this point? I feel like she's taking her frustrations out with Greg on everybody else. How we gonna get into that? We're gonna have to get into that. We're gonna have to get into that. So Stacey tells the girls, like, first of all, TJ has apologized profusely and said that he actually wanted to come on camera and apologize to me. And Ashley and Giselle says, okay, but do you have any proof of that? They claim is no way that he wants to apologize to you if he's suing you at the same time. He was literally on social media talking about him suing you. And I'm like, Stacey, you a damn liar. Stacey, you be lying, sis. At the end of the day, what Jeremy would have said if it was me at that reunion that you were at, and that man tried to say that I paid him, I would have literally said, he's just mad at me for not speaking up for him as much as he preferred, because everybody was saying that he was gay. Everybody was saying how bad he treated me, and everybody was calling him a washed up actor. So now he's trying to get, comeuppance against me because he didn't like the picture that was painted of him. See, you could have said that. Because honestly, that's what I believe happened. I don't believe that Stacey paid TJ to be on the show. I don't believe that. Now, I could be wrong. And it could be Stacey breath that may be coming through the screen confusing me. But I just don't believe that she paid that man. Now, do I believe the relationship was real? No. Do I believe TJ be sucking dick? Yes. Yes. I believe TJ be going dumb on the dick. And y'all know TJ got the cakes back there. Y'all remember the time that that Stacey had brought him to the whole training session with the trainer, and he was so happy to touch and hug on the trainer, and he had that booty tooted up. You can't trust no straight man with a real high booty. Straight man with a real high booty, that is. You know what I'm saying? If they booty too high, you gotta side eye. Let me stop playing here. All right, let's continue, child. So Stacey is like saying, like, I've been hurt. I've been hurt. And it's like, you guys keep hurting me. Giselle is like, girl, this is the first conversation of the season. And then Stacey says, are you guys just going to keep on questioning me every single time I see you? Every single time we're in a group setting? Is it just going to be you guys bombarding me with questions, trying to investigate me? And then she gets up and she storms out. And, Ashley's looking at her like, Stacey, no, don't leave, Stacey. Deep in Forehead's mind, she can't wait for Stacey to walk out the room because she truly want to spill the tea after Stacey leave to make even more people look at Stacey sideways. So now after Stacey leave and walks out the house, she was like, I don't even know how I can deal with any of these bitches. I was like, ooh, Stacey. It's a hood bitch somewhere deep in there. I can feel it. It's a hood bitch somewhere deep in there. I feel bad too, y'all, because Stacey is really pretty, and I would hate for her to have stank breath. Y'all, don't nothing turn me off worse than somebody who breath stink. Oh, oh. I don't like it when you have bad breath. If that breath is tart, baby, I'm gonna be looking at you. That's how I'm gonna always remember you as having bad breath. If you approach me just one time, and this is the first time I'm meeting you and your breath hot, I'm gonna always remember you as the person with a hot breath. It don't matter if you start walking around with lozenges, mouth spray, mints. Even if the breath don't stink the second time I see you, I will always categorize you as the bitch with the funky ass breath. But I'm still not trying to hop ahead of y'all. So, as I was saying, so she gets in the car, and then, Ashley look over the corner like, she gone, y'all. She gone. She asked the producers, Eric. I don't know if Eric still worked there or not. Eric is tearing down all the black franchises of Real Housewives. But she looking to the side. She was like, Eric, producers, did the bitch leave? She did. Okay, now y'all listen. Let me tell y'all the tea since this bitch really gone. When me and Giselle were at the same table as Cynthia when we went to this event, I think for Essence Magazine, we were sitting at a table with an actress. I was like, now who the damn actress? Who is this actress? We can't just be saying actresses or a person and we don't give no names. But they said that the actress was best friends with TJ. I was like, that lets you know right then and there, that's a homosexual. He got all of these women that are best friends, that are his homegirls. It's given that, TJ make a little dick every now and again. And that's okay, TJ. But I'm gonna need you not to take your frustrations about your closeted sexuality allegedly on Stacey. Stacey already battling hot ass breath. She don't need to battle you two. Okay. But apparently the person at this event that Giselle and Ashley were at, right? That was at the table with them, told them that TJ is actually suing Stacey right now because he was supposed to pay her she was supposed to pay him half of her RHOP salary. And I was like, wow. That you really got to be a bum ass nigga to do that, like to sue a woman for half of the salary that she worked for. I was like, if you were supposed to be on camera and supposed to be, this fake love interest, you didn't kiss her, you didn't touch her, you didn't make it seem like y'all were in a relationship. You was being very nonchalant with her, rude as fuck, looking like you wanted to fuck her personal trainer and everything else. So I was like, nigga, I wouldn't pay you either, even if it was true that she paid you. I'm not surprised that your ass didn't get paid because you didn't do a good ass job, which makes me not surprised why you don't really get a lot of acting jobs, because your ass can't act. And another thing I was wondering, I was like, so a woman that's at this event to uplift other women, right? She just runs into y'all at this table and she just starts gushing about how TJ is about to sue Stacey and then proceeds to show y'all law documents. So the bitch was walking around with the with the law papers in her titties in a nightgown, in a ball gown, was she just walking around with the paper on ready, or did she like look up the guest list and knew you two messy hoes were gonna be there, so she brought it there to fuck up Stacey life? To me, that just don't sound realistic. Who's doing that? And how pathetic do you have to be? And I really wish we got a name for this actress, you know, because I would love to know who it is. Could y'all put the name in the chat, whoever y'all think it is or who we have heard that it is? Because I really want to know. Because, that's some real grimy shit to do, even if it is true. I can't stand when no other woman attacks another woman over a man. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue, y'all. So after they, they get into all of that, we move on to the next scene, right? So y'all, we go to this scene with Stacy and her ex-husband Tiamo. So Stacy is having to sit down with her ex-husband Tiamo, and they reveal that they have reconciled after their vacation trip with their daughter because they did it all for Arabella. And I was like, you motherfucking fucked up parents gonna stop blaming y'all constantly getting back together, breaking up, creating a toxic ass circular cylindrical relationship over the what's best for the daughter. Y'all, I don't never understand that. If you knew that you and your daughter had seen the husband mistreat you, right? Why do you think it's in the best interest of the daughter to be around you while you're with your husband, who she saw was not treating you well? She heard was not treating you well. And y'all, another damn thing, y'all, is it me or does Tiamo look like Jorge from Beauty Shop? I was like, Jorge, is that you? I was like, now I know Jorge from the Beauty Shop when I see him, because number one, that's one of my favorite Queen Latifah movies. Nigga, that was Jorge. Tell me I'm lying. Who the hell is Shanola Hampton? Shanola? Oh, I don't recognize her, but she has been in a lot of stuff. This bitch 48 years old, being this messy, and she married. That's how you really know that TJ gay for real, allegedly. This bitch married, and her man don't even care that she best friends with TJ. Seriously, at all. But Stacy has a sit down with her husband, and she's like, it's kind of crazy that we're here right now. What made you send me an invite? What made you do that? He says, well, to tell you the truth, I figured that, I used to ask you out on a date so many times that I just wanted to do something different, spice it up. And then Stacy was like, yeah, it was really cute. I was like, this nigga sent you a Facebook invite to dinner? And I was like, that's cute. I was like, okay. So even for the white men, the bar is in hell. But they were basically talking about Tiamo, it's kind of good that we're actually taking the time to just have this personal me and you time. Because, back when we were together, it was always just family time, and I really didn't do as much as I could to really spend time and have that one-on-one. And he was like, yes, that is very true. We really could have read some books. We really should have took the time to be in a relationship together and just really not forget date night. I was like, is it me or does he not really seem that into this? I was like, it could be it. She said that he's very, introverted, which I can identify with. I'm an introvert myself. Like if you meet me out in person, baby, I am very quiet. I'm more of an observer, right? So I was like, it just doesn't really seem as if he's as excited as Stacey is. And I just wonder what made him, after the way that Stacey said that he dogged her out last season and left her, what makes him all of a sudden want to try to get back with her? Is it because she's on a reality show? Is it because it's not real? Is it because it's advantageous for you? Or you probably saw her on camera with another man and you was like, she looked too damn good right now for me not to be messing with her. It could have been that. Sometimes when a man plays with you and they see how fine you look afterwards, they always come slithering back. But when they do slither back, you ain't supposed to give them what they want, Stacey. Stacey lets us know that while on vacation, their divorce was actually finalized. They sound like Boris and Natasha looking for moose and squirrel. Y'all, I don't know. I love Stacey's accent. I love the way Stacey talks. I love it. I really do. It's it's in the back of the throat, and it's like, and and it has a posh, accent to it, so Tiamo. So is it like this or like that? I really do love me some Stacey. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I likes me some Stacey, okay? But they agree that they're going to keep this, newfound, rekindled spark between them. She says she wonders how everybody is going to react. He says that his family and his friends, will always, support anything he does. I was like, usually that's something that you say when your family would not support, something that you do. Like if I had like a good ass man, and I lost him and I went to go get back with him, I don't think that my family or my friends would look at me crazy. They'll be like, nigga, you better go back and get with that person. To me, that's what it will only be like that if the family never really liked her or the friends never really liked her. You know what I'm saying? And it also brings into my wonder if it's because she's Black. My wonder, is it because of her race that it could possibly be some issues between the family or the friends and Stacey? Because to me, it doesn't really, that sentence doesn't really align that, Stacey has a good relationship with them, right? What will you do about her breath? I don't know, child. I ain't got nothing to do with, look, Jeremy breath don't stink. I don't do that. One thing this tongue gonna get is brushed. Okay, I scrape my look. I ain't got no bad breath. That's not one of my burdens. But being thick is though. It's just so heavy back there. I don't know what to do. I'm just kidding. Well, the fact they were married 20 years with one child tells me family issues, y'all. Hold on real quick. I'm getting hot. I got to turn on the air. Oh, child. It's hot as hell. I was like, did somebody turn on the heat? Baby, listen. Even when I wake up, I promise you, you can ask Jamar. Even when I wake up, my breath don't stink. Okay? I don't have bad breath. Now, I will say that after I take my ADHD medication while I'm at work, I do get dry mouth and my breath can be a little tart, but I don't be talking like that when I'm at work, and I drink a lot of water to ease the cotton mouth. When your mouth get dry, your breath can get kind of hot too. But to be honest, overall, I don't really be having bad breath like that. And I'm aware if my breath may not be the clean, the freshest. I don't just, it's not like I'm unaware. I feel like if you have some badass breath, you can taste that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a taste in your mouth. You know when your breath stinks. And honestly, in this scene, I think Stacey breath was kind of tart as well, because if you look at Jorge, he was not looking her directly in the face while she was talking. He was looking to the side every single time she opened her mouth. He was looking at her when she closed the mouth, but as soon as she started talking, he was like, I was like, that breath hot. That breath hot, Stacey. We gotta go to the dentist, Stacey. We gotta go look and see if there's a cavity in there. We gotta go see if there's some impacted food in there. It's something in there. Because like this is the third person that couldn't look you in the eye when you was talking to them. And that's a problem. We can't be walking around with bad breath, Stacey. We can't do that. Okay? We're gonna have to get that straight. All right. So let's move on. So Ashley is playing. Ashley, I've had people tell me others having hot breath, and I'm thinking you might want to take your own advice. Listen. The best way to not expose bitches to hot breath is just to not have it, or just to keep your mouth closed. But I feel anybody that has hot breath, I know you can taste it. So that lets me know that Stacey's a little trifling. Stacey was walking up to the group scene, burping. She knew that burp came from deep within her gut, right? She knew that burp came from her lower intestines. She didn't go rinse her mouth out in the bathroom. She didn't have a little mint. She didn't stop by the store on the way to the scene to go chew some gum. She came into the house directly after a hot ass burp. And that's how you know there's a certain level of trifling that Stacey has for you to do that. Let's continue. So we see Ashley, she's prepping for this glamorous bloom ball, and this meant to basically mark her post-divorce birth. She's a new person, new forehead, new titties, new dress, same singing voice. But we see her preparing that. So, but while she's shopping and planning, Stacey joins her, right? Stacey's there to support her, and Stacey start having a conversation, right? Stacey starts, saying that she wants them to be in a good space, that she wants them to start off in a new direction, right? Ashley is not gonna let this shit go, right? So Ashley says, Stacey, I really do like you, and I think that you're a cool girl, but you just be lying. I was like, bitch, you do. You be lying. First of all, forehead, let's talk about this. You want to talk about Stacey's divorce? Can we talk about your divorce? Now, I know it's been a minute since Jeremy Speaks, have reviewed Real Housewives of Potomac, but do y'all remember the Ashley Darby divorce countdown? Do y'all remember that? How many times did I say it is September 2024 and Ashley Darby is still not divorced? Now, you said that it only took you 6 months, of being separated to get divorced. You took over a year after that, allegedly, right? And then you was also going back and forth saying that you was giving this nigga foot massages. So what are we talking? We didn't even understand what was happening with your divorce. This man, you divorcing him, but he's paying for your house that he has the key to, and he can come in whenever he wants to. And you can't have no man at the house because he'll come and walk in and he's paying allegedly 30 to 50% of the cost of your house, but y'all getting a divorce. Like it was a whole lot of questionable shit happening with your divorce as well, Ashley, for you to have all of these, all of these questions for her. So she starts questioning Stacey and saying, Stacey, but I looked in the divorce, in the divorce records, and I didn't see your name. Stacey says, well, it's because it's not for anybody's business. It's not anybody's business. It's my privacy, isn't it? It's my family. We don't need all of our stuff out there. We don't need that. I was like, Stacey. And so Stacey goes in the confessional, y'all. Once again, Stacey is lighting these bitches up. Stacey says, with all of the things that Ashley could be looking up, like a vocal coach, it's kind of alarming that Ashley is taking the time to look up my divorce decree. I was like, my God. Who is giving Stacey these reads? Because y'all, I did not peg Stacey as a reader. I did not peg her as no reader like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really peep her as that. So it really does make me put me at a shock sometimes when Stacey just throw these reads out the way that she does. And I'm like, wow. So Stacey's saying, like, Ashley, like, it's just messy. Oh my God, Ashley. Like, why are you doing this? Why do I feel like I'm being attacked? Why do I feel like this whole group is sitting here trying to basically come against me? What did I do to ever deserve any of that? Oh, child, I love me some Stacey. I'm gonna have fun this season. So Stacey ends up shrugging off all of the things, and then she lets her know that I have forgiven TJ. I've forgiven him. He's apologized profusely and also told me that he wishes that he can come on camera and give me a formal apology. But I've forgiven him. Ashley's looking at her like, y'all, I'm gonna put my hand right here to because this is extra forehead space. So I just want y'all to. She's looking at her like, I'm gonna destroy you this season, bitch. I'm gonna have fun. Ashley is an evil person. I don't care. Ashley is evil. Ashley is the devil. Like, you gotta Stacey hit her with a reverse Karen. Yeah, I think the fact that Stacey is out Karening these women is driving them up the wall. They're not used to somebody like Stacey. I'm thoroughly entertained, but Stacey, you can't come onto a fucking show about reality and lie and not expect your ass to get grilled the following season. You should know that this is exactly gonna be what's on the horizon for you. You should have known that at that reunion when everybody was looking at you crazy. You should have known right then and there it's going to be a hard next season for me. But you did not. I don't know why you're coming. Why you coming here looking so surprised when you got caught in a lie? And I won't even say you got caught in a lie at that reunion. You just didn't address it, and you decided to call everybody liars. So not only is this man calling you a liar, but then you call the rest of the cast a liar, and now you've turned these people against you. And then on top of that, everything that Wendy said came to pass. She said that because you did not clear this up in this moment, you decided to just call them all liars, then you are going to have to deal with that next season with love. Oh, I miss me some Wendy. I missed Wendy, y'all. I love me some Wendy Osefo. Oh, I love her. All right. So, y'all, we are at the ball, right? And we get some new faces. We get some new faces. We got Angel Massey, you know, who's Kiara's friend. I was like, not Kiara bringing friends on the show when she's still almost a friend of the damn show herself. I was like, y'all just letting everybody bring somebody in. But I honestly liked Angel. I liked Angel this episode. I liked what she gave me, right? So at this ball, right? We have basically. I'm not gonna skip ahead. I don't. I'm skipping ahead, y'all. I'm sorry. So we got. I want to talk. I want to talk about one more scene before I go because I don't want to skip over it. So basically, you, Kiana, are like showing us your apartment, right? Her mama comes in, y'all. The mama comes in a like in this jumper. Now the mama is bad as hell. The mama, the mama looked so much like Kiana. I was actually shocked. She walks into Kiana's room and she was like, "You is just so full of yourself." She's looking at the big, huge portrait that Kiana has of herself. And Kiana says, "Yeah, I gotta know, I gotta remind myself that I'm the baddest and I deserve everything." And I was like, "But you're letting Greg hop on top of you. You letting that gremlin hop on top of you. But you the baddest." So the mama and Karen walk into the living room. Now, the mama is beautiful. But ma'am, you felt that jumpsuit in your ass crack. I know you did. When her mama walked to the couch, that jumper was all in her ass. Like the jumpsuit was getting eaten alive by the ass cheeks. I was like, "Now, ma'am, you could have pulled that jump out your ass. Come on now. We on camera, ma'am. Have some decency." How you have wedgies? How you have a wedgie with a jumper on, ma'am? A romper, or whatever you call these things. They got so many different names for what the girls be having on nowadays. I can't keep up. But the mama and Kiana make their way to the living room, and the mama asks Kiana about, the trip to Jamaica. Now, one thing about it, I just want to say that Kiana's mama is so beautiful. My God. I was looking at her like, wow, this woman is gorgeous. And she also has a very like bougie quality about herself. So it makes me wonder what does Karen's parents do? Does Karen come from a well-off family? Because it kind of gives that. Because her mama don't seem like no hood bitch. Her mama seemed that she came from, a good background herself. What's up, Linda? How you doing? So she asked Karen about the Jamaica trip, right? And she says, "Well, how was Jamaica? I was expecting you to be broken up." Kiana says, yeah, she decided to give Greg another chance because, Greg just didn't like being on camera. And, she feels that, he really, wants to be with her. And the mama basically tells Kiana, she's like, "Well, I don't like who you are when you're with him. I don't like who you are. I raised a strong Black woman. Whoever that person is that you become when you're with him, I don't like that. I don't like that in your season." Y'all know the Christians love to say seasons. My God. One thing the Christians gonna do is say the word seasons. My God, today. But Kiana says, like, so you don't want us together? Like, and she's basically getting real snippy with her mama. And her mama's like, I don't really like the way that he treats you, and I don't like the way that y'all interact, and I don't like the way that he comes across to you. And it was basically Kiana really getting disrespectful with her mama. And I was like, Kiana, you really showing your ass, ain't you? It's only the first episode, girl. You doing all of this and you disrespecting your mama too. Now, one thing I will say, and I know this is kind of off topic, but they must be a fine ass family because Kiana bad, her mama bad, the brother bad. I want to know what the daddy looked like. Who want to bet the daddy fine too? Then again, the daddy may not be fine, and Kiana may be mirroring a relationship that she saw her mama in. So maybe it could be that she saw her mama in the relationship with an ugly ass man that she got pregnant by. So maybe it could be that. I just want to know what the daddy looked like. Because the son, the mama, the daughter, everybody fine. This is a fine ass family. But so we're gonna move on. We're gonna go back, go forward, not back. We're gonna go forward to where we were previously. Now we at the Bloom Ball. We at the Bloom Ball. We all pouring in. Stacy's letting us know I am coming here, to support Ashley, and I really just need her to know that I'm open to a new beginning, and I'm open to new fresh starts. So I'm coming here as an olive branch to start that. That's what I'm doing. I bet there are a lot of skeletons in the home. Mama might be a pick-me because Karen didn't learn the pick-me behavior on her own. Exactly. I was like, no, Mama K. Now, like, how strong of a black woman did you really raise her to be? Because, like, ain't no way you instill all of this in her and she's doing all of this. I don't know. You can't be a strong black woman and a pick-me at the same time. They ain't really what it's giving. Then again, I take that back. You can be a strong black woman, but it's only so a black man can step on you like a doormat and use you as the foundation of his own life to lift himself up. A lot of you hoes want to do that. A lot of y'all like to put on Superman capes and go save the nearest fuck nigga from the world of pestilence that they've created for themselves. I don't understand it, but hey, who are me to judge? If y'all want to be fighting, the good fight for the fuck niggas and allowing them to disrespect and demean all of y'all, then y'all go ahead. I can't stop you. Okay? I'm only a man. Dad probably looked like Uncle Elroy. That mama went for the money. Kay can be Greg's HR and bookkeeper for his business, but he can't support her by filming. She better listen to her mama. Exactly. You doing all of this, and he can't even give you everything. And then on top of that, he don't even look like he showered good. Like, Greg always looked a little musty. Like sometimes, I know, like, when you work out, you sweat, right? Y'all follow me. Y'all know when you work out and sweat and you have like that little musk, but it ain't stank. You don't stink. Some people do though, depends. It depends. But y'all know that type of sweat versus you sitting in the house, right? And let's say like the air is like a little still in the house, and it starts to get a little muggy in the home, right? And you got your arms down as you're watching something, and your underarms start to itch, right? Your underarms start to itch. You reach underneath your shirt, and your underarm smell that. That's that must. That must, like that underarm must from just sitting in the house all day, letting your armpits get sweaty. That's what Greg looked like he deals with. A lot of armpit sweat. Like if you was to be in a room with white sheets, right? And Greg was to put, how people lay on a pillow like this, if his underarm touched that pillow, by the time he got up, the pillow turned brown. Bet you. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. I'm not. I know what I'm saying is fact. I know. I know what I'm saying is fact allegedly. At least that's what I get, right? But Kiana wanna do her own thing. But look, y'all, we are at an hour now. I gotta finish this up because I need to hop on my PlayStation. Okay. I gotta play me some Dead by Daylight. All right. So basically, at the ball, the two new women are introduced. We see Tia; she's a real estate maven from like London with Nigerian ties, and she's invited by Giselle. I don't like her. I can tell. I can just tell that she not gonna be somebody I like. I don't know. I don't know. But Giselle and Wendy are having a conversation, right? Now, they're talking, and Giselle was like, I see you got my outfit on. You was inspired, right? Because I guess Giselle wore something similar to what she had on, and Wendy was like, no, this is a two-piece. And I did think about that after I got it, but no, it was not giving that. But in the midst of them having this conversation, right, Kiana walks over and she sits down. And I don't know if she said hey in the scene. They didn't show her saying hey, but they put in an audio clip of her saying hey. So it makes me feel like maybe it was edited in, or maybe Wendy did not hear her. But she was talking with Giselle, and Kiana's gonna say, I'm right here too, Wendy. You ain't gotta ignore me. Wendy says, I'm not ignoring you. We was having a conversation. I love how Wendy talks. It's always a lot of this, a lot of this. It's a lot of reaching, a lot of, I wasn't even. I wasn't ignoring you. I wouldn't do that. Girl, what are you talking about? We were having a conversation. And then she was like, actually, I wouldn't like to have a conversation with you. And then Wendy is like, you can. So Kiana and Wendy start to have this conversation. Now, Kiana is fired up. Karen is fired up. I don't know why Karen is doing all of this. And in my mind, I know that Wendy is feeling the same thing. She's like, I don't know why Karen is going this hard, but it's crazy. Y'all, my cat is trying to get, anytime I get on this camera, my cat terrorizes me. I think he might want to say hello. Come here. You want to say hey to the people? Y'all say hey to Hermes. Say hey to my baby. he's a short haired tabby. My little baby, my little nigga. Did he just smack me with his tail? That was rude. You stop that. All right, y'all. So let's continue. So as they're having like this conversation, so Karen says, like, sometimes, Wendy, I feel like you could just be a little bit fake. The type of conversations and the energy that we have on the phone is completely different than what we have when I see you out. For example, she says that she had told Wendy that she was going to be, she told Wendy that she was going to be a what do you call it? It's not an escort. What do y'all call it? It begins with an S. Supplier? What word am I thinking about, y'all? An endorser? Y'all, what's the word when you sponsor? Thank you. My mind was going blank, y'all. Forgive me, it's the end of the day. I was like, well, now, what's the word I'm looking for? But like a sponsor for the event. And Wendy was like, yeah, girl, I see you there. And she was like, but you didn't tell me that you was speaking at the event. Like, why wouldn't you share? Like, why wouldn't you share? Like, why would you not do that? And then Wendy's like, because I was hyping you up. I was just saying, congratulations, you sponsored the event. Like, I was hyping you. It was like, girl, yes, do your thing. So I didn't feel like also trying to bring in also what I'm doing. It was just out of respect, but that's just me. I meant no harm by it. Karen was like, damn, that did sound like a really good point, but I'm gonna find something else. So she said, actually, how about this? When I was at the event and I got there and you was on stage talking, you saw me walk across the floor while you was speaking, doing your speech on the microphone, and you didn't say hi. How about that? How about that, Wendy? Can you find your way out of that, Wendy? So Wendy was like, so you wanted me in the middle of my speech to like just stop and say hi to you? I was speaking. And Karen is like, yeah, you could have gave me a little hand, just a little wave. You could have said hi. You could have interrupted your speech and said, hello, Kiana, the baddest bitch that walked in the room. You could have said all of that. That's what a friend does. I was like, Kiana, girl, this ain't gonna be a good season for you. This ain't gonna be a good season for you. This ain't gonna go well. And then what was so confusing to me, y'all, was okay, so you've had this problem with Wendy, but you and Wendy drove in the car on the way to Giselle's house together. Why didn't you talk to her about this then? Why are you waiting until right now at this group event to bring this up on camera? It's giving you on a moment. It's giving you one at a moment. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, Kiana. Not like, I ain't calling you any names, but I'm just saying it's coming across just a little thirsty. We could do a little bit better. Let's be better next time. But Wendy's in a confessional. She's like, I was on stage speaking. Usually a friend would be like, congratulations, girl, do your thing. But like, you're making this about you. Is that something that a friend would do? Child, one thing Wendy Osefo is going to do on this show is going to ask, is that something that a friend would do? I don't know if it's just me imagining it, but I feel like I've heard Wendy say that statement so many times. Is that something a real friend would do? But that's your real friend, right? Shamia Jr. Kay picked Wendy because Wendy is the least problematic. I'm sure production told her to turn it up. Yeah, it's getting like I was just so confused. And then she was like, but like, so after Wendy managed to explain her way out of not saying hi on stage, Karen is like, oh. So you managed to wiggle your way out of that one. But how about this one, Wendy? How about this? When I was on the red carpet at a red carpet event, Wendy, you walked up to me and said, hey, did you do your own makeup? Huh? What about that? That's not something a friend would say. That's not nice. You didn't do what you were supposed to do and big me up, Wendy. And I was like, but she could have meant anything when she said that. It could have been like, girl, did you do your makeup? Because it probably looked so good. And she was like, bitch, did you do that yourself? Like, bitch, you could have like, what's up, Sakina? How you doing? I feel like I ain't seen you in forever. My Pisces sister. I love her, y'all. I love her. But like it could have been like a compliment or whatever. I just don't understand where Kiana's coming from. I just don't. It's not really making any sense to me. It's not really clicking. And I really hate that for her because I really do feel like Kiana's a nice person. I feel like Kiana's a good person. I don't think that Kiana is just somebody that's evil, thirsty, desperate. I just don't get that from her. So to see her like this, I'm like, it's either one of two things. Either you're feeling pressure from the producers and now you're starting to overanalyze things and look for reasons to find problems with people, or you're just trying to create drama with Wendy because you know she's an easy target for you to go at it with. Or Wendy, after you got onto the show full time, she took a step back from you and you don't have as much access to her as you had in the past because now it went from like a real friendship to a real friendship that's also a part of this show, which can drag in my deep personal life, my family life into the show again. And I have to distance myself from you. So I don't really know what exactly it is. I don't just want to say that Kiana is just making all of this up because I really do feel like Kiana is feeling like she is being slighted by Wendy. But I don't know if this is something like overthinking because, like, y'all, I have social anxiety. You know, I had a very traumatic childhood. We've already, discussed all of this. So a lot of times in social interactions, I'm already thinking people feel the worst about me. Or I'm over analyzing something and thinking like, oh, this person probably didn't like me, or this person meant this. And it's something that I've had to work on. And I still work on it, right? To make sure I avoid making those missteps because paranoia and me over reading certain actions can lead to me creating problems for myself, right? And I really want Kiana to just take a step back and really figure out if this is what you want to do. Like, do you really want to sacrifice your relationship with Wendy for this show? Do you really feel that y'all can't talk this out? Do you really feel that the energy that you're walking up to her with is going to be conducive to a good conversation? You have to take those things into consideration. But like, I like you, Kiana. Kiana, I'm gonna be giving you a pass until further notice. But after you run out of passes, we're gonna have to start tearing into you because it's starting to look a little weird. It's only the first episode. So we can watch everything unfold and see what's going on. But I'm gonna just let you know it's not giving what you think that it's giving. And the audience is not on your side. Now, moving on. So Ashley and Stacy end up having a conversation, right? So in the middle of the party, Stacy goes over to Ashley and she says, "You know what, Ashley, I just want you to know that I came here to extend an olive branch because I want us to start off on a new leaf. Ashley, I want us to be on a good page, Ashley. And it's because I just been feeling like it's been so many attacks coming at Stacy. It's been like Stacy this, Stacy that, like Stacy, you're a liar, Stacy, you're lying, Stacy, stop lying." And I'm like, what is going on? It's just so much. Okay. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. But so Ashley, y'all, Ashley is turned up. Ashley is saying, "Bitch, we're gonna make some really good television today." Because like I was like, Ashley, now all of this energy was not needed for Stacy. I don't think that Stacy gives you have to yell at her. I don't think that Stacey gives that you have to yell over her. To me, Stacey be talking. She, even if she don't like what you say, Stacey gives you the ability to have a conversation. She's just not somebody that screams over people. So to see Ashley scream over Stacey, it was just weird to me. So she was just taking it to a different place, talking about how fake the divorce was, how fake Stacey was, how she don't know what she can trust, how TJ is suing her. Like, she was really just trying to destroy Stacey. Everybody in the room now is looking at Stacey as, you know, as they're getting into it, y'all. And y'all, some weird, I think he was some, I don't know if he was like the host, but like weird dude talking about y'all too loud in here. First of all, sir, get the fuck out the scene. What you mean? This is her party. If Ashley want to scream and make a damn fool of herself, then she is allowed to. Stop interrupting the scene. They like, RHOP is barely on one leg. We don't need your hobbit ass trying to come in and try to diffuse the conflict that we have on the premiere episode. Can you move? Can you move, sir? If you moved and you did not interrupt, we could have probably got 30 to 40 more seconds of content from this argument. But your ass want to try to get y'all. Stop all that fighting on this lane. I was like, he needs to move. Okay. Okay, it was Stacey Besser. Oh, yeah. I remember that. What is that? Was that Stacey Besser? That was the one from last season. But either way, he needs to move his ass out the way. But you know, my bad, sir. My bad. Okay, you know, you doing your part as a friend. But I think that you know, Ashley and Stacey can handle one another. I don't think that Ashley is some dominant force. You know, you get what I'm saying? So Stacey is like, oh my God, Ashley, what is all of this? Like, where is this coming from, Ashley? Oh my God, you're a devil. You're a little mean devil. And then Ashley was like, and you're fake, and you're a liar, and your breath stinks. And she was like, oh my God, you little imp. Y'all, when she called her an imp, I cackled. Y'all, an imp. Now, to be fair, Candace has used this read for Ashley in the past, so I'm not going to call it that original. But do y'all know what imp means? Imp is a small, mischievous demon or devil or mischievous child. It is a small, malevolent, or mischievous supernatural being resembling a fairy or a lesser demon. Y'all, I cackled. I was like, not an imp. Not before she told Ashley to get her finger out her face. She said it with her chest. Oh, yeah, she was like, get your finger out of my face. Get your finger out of my face. Why is your finger in my face? Get your finger out of my face. Get your finger out of my face. No fingers in my face. You can get your finger out of my face. And Ashley was like I said, I was like, see, that's that hood bitch that was living under the bridge with her mama Dorothy. I was like, that's the under the bridge behavior. So you could take the girl from underneath the bridge, but you can't take the bridge from underneath the girl. And y'all, that was really it. Besides, you know, Giselle and Angel basically also confirming that Stacey breath was stank at this event as well. And Angel said the breath greeted her before, you know, she actually did. And I was like, well, damn. They said her breath was tart in unison. I was like, not they harmonize in talking about your breath being hot. Like, that's crazy, Stacey. Some got to be done. Stacey, if you after this episode, if you don't go see a dentist, I know something. Okay? This is too much. This too much. Y'all, but overall, I really thought it was a really good first episode. I was highly entertained. I was surprised. It was kind of refreshing. I think, maybe Giselle needed to be the focus of the group. Maybe she needed to be the center. I don't know. It just feels way more refreshed without Karen there. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know I'm kind of like I like Karen sometimes. I don't like her other times. But like I don't know. I don't like gingivitis means that you just have sensitive gums, so your gums bleed. But that doesn't mean that you have bad breath. I think you're thinking about halitosis. How you ugly with how you beautiful with, with ugly breath. It's a lot of people like that. It's a lot of people. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Y'all I remember one time. You know what? That'll be too messy for me to bring up. Let me know. I'm not even gonna do that, child. I'm not even gonna do that. So I'm gonna just end it here, y'all. So I'm gonna be very excited to see how this all unfolds, right? I'm gonna be very excited to see how this all plays out as the season progresses. I feel like we did a really good first job, with the first episode. Now let's see how the rest of these episodes will go. Usually, Real Housewives of Potomac always does well on their first episode, and then the rest of the episodes are boring. But I'm just gonna hope that that's not what it's gonna be giving this season, okay? But y'all listen, okay? Please be on the lookout sometime tomorrow for Bell Collective. I might be going live. I might be doing pre-records for that. I need to figure out which one I'm gonna do. It'll probably just be easier for me to this time around to do a live, and then also we gotta do Salt Lake City. So yeah, y'all be easy. I love every single one of y'all. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of y'all night. I plan on doing the same. Love yourself. Because when you don't love yourself, you walk around parties and group events with a hot funk breath that is burning the eyelashes off of everybody around you. We definitely don't want y'all to do that. So drink water, brush your tongue, brush your teeth, stay hydrated and love yourselves, okay? All right, y'all. Peace.